Hello, Moses, Joy, and Sam. Today I want to talk about the grace and the truth. What is grace and what is truth? Grace is related with the free thing. Grace is the things which is given free for free. There is no the reward, or there is no obligation. So usually grace is related with the receiving something from God or from the high-ranking officers or seniors or your boss. And sometimes grace is what I give something to the other person for free. Then I think it is grace. So grace is a very important value when we live in this world. I heard from my cousins that when I was a baby, and they are older than me, they usually carried me on her back, even though I have no memory about this. Sometimes my aunt told me that, oh, your cousin who was older than you usually carried you. Even though they are not adult, they were, I think, elementary school student, or they're older than that age. But anyway, when they talk about that, I felt that I just got the grace from them, even though I have no memory. Yeah. So I think that there are many occasions, such kind of occasions. When I was in 5th grade, I think it is in winter, there was a fire in my house. It's a small cottage, 1 room and 1 kitchen, very old. It was made of earth. The material was earth, since there was no bricks or cement, so it was built from earth, and the roof was thatched. I mean, the dried rice plant, and there was a fire. And after fire, we became much more poor than before. We had no food to eat. So I was sent to my friend's house in my village. I lived together with him. I ate with him and go to school together with him. I think it's about one month or so. So I don't know. My parents paid money to them, but I think that no payment was given to them, to my friend. And I always was thankful to him. And that's why I lived in the senior year, about, I don't know exactly, several months with him, with my friend, Mr. Tree. And he was the eldest son and the only son. So the family the treated him like a prince. And he was richer than me, so I lived in his room and I studied together with him. That's why their parents invited me to live there. So to prepare the college entrance examination in 1984, the senior year of my high school, I lived several months together with him. I didn't pay him, but I helped him. I think I helped him to study because I was the top student it is not a high level school. It is a very small village high school. But anyway, I got a scholarship, and I think I was famous. At least I got first the rank in school. I mean, so his parents invited me to study there, and I lived with him. And one thing I had a memory is, so we studied quite a long time until 10 o'clock p.m. at school. At school, we usually voluntarily study at school, but it was organized by teachers, and most of the students usually stayed at night to study. So usually at senior year, even though they didn't have any kind of interest in studying, they tried. My many friends, they stayed at night to study, even though it was quite hard for them. And my friend, he was also tried to study harder to enter a good university. So I think he was happy with me to study, because sometimes I think that I didn't help him a lot, but atmosphere to study. I usually shared my life with him, so he can imitate me and how to study and how to focus on study, such things. Anyway, I lived with him several months in my senior year high school with him. So it was also a grace. It's vice versa. I gave grace to him because I helped in studying, but also in living, I received grace from them, from his family. But after 10 o'clock at p.m., when we returned, his mother prepared ramen for us. It was an expression of love, you know. It was because ramen was usually at that time you have to buy it, and it costed quite a lot. So I also loved a lot. I ate it, but the problem was that at night, after eating ramen, we studied and then went to bed. But there was a stomach ache in my belly. I hurt. I feel pains, and I had to visit the health room, health office, at school, and I think that she told me that stop eating ramen at night around 11 o'clock. So I quit the ramen, and that was my memory. So I lived in his house 2 times, first after the fire, and it was totally grace. And in my senior year, it was a grace from him, and also I affected him, and he went to college, and I also went to college in Seoul. He went, I think, in Jeonnam, Gwangju area. So those things happened a lot. You know, I had no money to finish my college years, but I received a full scholarship from Korea University for 4 years, and then they provide me 50,000 won per month as a stipend or book kind of the support for books. But anyway, it helped me a lot. So I could successfully finish graduate college. And I received a grace from KU. Even though until now I couldn't repay or anyway, I want to return the grace I received to KU. And so such kind of things happen a lot. It is a grace in your life. You also feel many, I think you had many such kind of things, received grace. So many people loved you, even though there's no such kind of conditions. But just as you are, they loved, and you are loved by them. It is grace. And I think one of the greatest grace in history and in our lives is the grace from God, especially grace from Jesus. We had troubles and problems that we cannot solve by ourselves. Even though we do not acknowledge such things, many people do not acknowledge such kind of things. Even they do not acknowledge the existence of God. But every day we receive grace from God. For example, I breathe air. So what is the air and where does it come from? And I think it is come from God. It belongs to God. And God always tries to clean it. Every day he cleans it, you know. People think that nature cleans it. Who made this nature? And if there's no, I think, additional energy, additional care from God, then the air in which we live and we breathe, I don't think it is clean and clear for us to live. And I believe that God every day cleans the air for us to breathe safely. Even though humans with the greed, so much sinful desire, they pollute air, provide all kind of dust and chemical things. They do not clean them, but God, with all his might, or with the using plants and ecosystem, climate system, I think he cleans the air. And when I breathe, I appreciate to God that I spend the air prepared by God. And the water thing, we think water comes from nature, from underground, or through the water plant using the water from river or reservoir, make it clean to drink, and then we drink water, and we pay the water utilities or water fee as a utility. But the original matter, water itself, who made this? What is the system? And also, even though you cannot understand or do not accept my opinion, I think God, every day, God uses many people, related persons, including your mother, clean the water for us to spend freely and safely. If humans, the greed, polluted water and contaminates it. So many people nowadays buy water to drink. I think I didn't imagine that I will buy a water to drink. When I was young, when I was told that in ancient novel or story that in Kim Son-dal, Mr. Kim, in Pyongyang area, there is a Daedong River. He sold water to the people, and it was a joke. Oh, even Kim Son-dal, and he sold the water to people. How brilliant he was to sell the water, the free thing, everywhere. You can get it everywhere, freely. But nowadays, you have to buy it to have a living good water. And this water, as your mother is working now at water plant, and her job is to check the safety and the soundness of the water. And she ordered to put some chemicals there to clean it. Those things she is working now as a chemist. So she actually is not the owner of the water. So the owner of the water in this world is God. There are so many water at sea, at river, in the air. And there is a circulation of water in atmosphere. So if you drink water, that is a grace. Original water, I mean. There is no patent. God did not set a patent and provides it freely. Light. The sunlight is necessary and essential for the plant. So when plants worked to get energy, it's a photosynthesis. Light is inevitable and necessary things for leaves to transform the form of energy, light energy into fruits, apple, grape, watermelon, all kind of things, such plants. The original source of energy is light. And you don't pay in using light. And God made this light. God made the sun. And he provides you these things freely. All foods, farmers raise those food and plants and vegetables, fruits, but the plants or the vegetables come from the earth. From the earth. Earth is the container of food, actually. There is various kinds of nutritions elements under the earth, in earth, and the plants through roots observe those nutritions elements, and with the sunlight it transforms the form of energy. And those plants God created and made for us. So farmers, we pay for farmers' work, or distributors the labor cost. Original costs are free. You use your earth, it's free. You might think that, oh, those earth ground belongs to the farmer, but the farmer did not make it. Only farmers have the ownership in this on earth, and they can use this earth, the field. But the original matter, energy source come from God. So that is grace. When you live, you meet many people, and some of them are like angels to you. And the angels usually give you for free, or sometimes almost free. So when you meet such persons, give thanks to them. Show them your appreciation. Sometimes they don't need such kind of reward of money, but just appreciation. Give thanks to them. And another thing I want to talk about now is truth. Truth comes from true, and truth is quite a complicated word, and there are so many meanings. And I want to approach this word with justice. The truth should be kept in all situations. People usually try to gain something, and sometimes they lie. They deny the truth. They covered truth, the reality, and the fact, and violated the kind of law. But truth will make those things correct, restore the correctness. So truth is, for us, we need truth. And sometimes if you violate a law, then you will be punished. That is one of the typical character of the truth. If you made mistakes, you will be suffered. If you make an error, you or other people will suffer or will have bad times, hard times. And the result of our errors, if it is pain, And I think it is related with the truth. So I made many mistakes in my life. When I was young, I usually said to my mother that, why did you bring me here on earth? I'm very, very sorry to my mom. She loved me a lot, and uh, she was like an angel, actually. I didn't know that, but she lived for us to survive, and she had so difficult times to provide the uh, the food kind of things in my family, because my father lives outside the family, and I think that he gave very little money. So in my youth, I just only, if you say one word, what is a typical word for your youth? Then I can say that it was poverty. Poverty that controls me and ruled me. And my mother really worked hard, and even I had no time to talk with her. From early in the morning to the late night, she worked. And she brought some rotten apples kind of things, which was the the the, the farmers didn't use it. And she, after came home, she made those things edible. So I remember at the autumn, at fall, I ate some apples, even though I have no memory eating fruits, kind of watermelon or the apples. Yeah. But anyway, she worked very hard. And I said, because of the poverty or because of the dissatisfaction in life, I usually complained a lot to my mom. And I had not to do that. Yeah, really. I am really sorry now to my mom. And such kind of things repeat when I grow up and raise you. And you know that you always complained, especially the deficiency of response. If you asked for me to buy something, I usually say that, oh, it is not necessary for you. So I think I remember I also that I rejected many times, and I think that you got hurt from those responses. I'm sorry. Such is the truth. If you do something to somebody, then you will receive it someday in your life. If you do not receive it in this age, then you will receive it after you die in eternal life. So be careful. Try not to hurt somebody. Try not to complain to somebody. And truth is related with justice. If you do wrong, then you will be punished. I recognized, especially in my military service period, I think that it was a time of hell, but even though it was like an hell, but my character was developed, and I build up such kind of patience in my life. So I learned, if you do wrong, then you will be punished in army service. At school years, I received grace, even though I did wrong thing at the school. Since I was a smart boy, smart student, was a top-ranking student, so they usually forgave me. Yeah. Even though I did wrong, I understood it, and I think it was grace. But in our life, there are grace and truth. And when we were babies, we live only by grace. You don't have any power or strength to survive. Your parents, your mother or father takes care of you. But when you grow up, you have little things to do. You can do independently. But until you're becoming adult, your parents take care of you, so you receive grace a lot from them. Think about them. And if you think properly, then you will give me thanks or appreciation. And when you become an adult, you will meet so many people. And some of them, I think some of them are angels, and some of them are like enemies or Satan to you, devils to you. Remember that there are 2 angels and 1 devil in this world. That's my opinion. So if you suffer from devil kind of person, don't worry. Ask God for help. Then He will send you 2 angels and will protect you. Yeah. But first of all, you have to return to God and try to be connected with Him. God is a person. I am a person, and God is a person. I was created in His image. So my existence is a copy of God's existence. So you also. So you can communicate with Him. You can talk with Him. If you have any troubles, ask Him for help. In Jesus' name, ask Him. Then there will be grace and truth in your life. In your grace time, give thanks to Him. Give thanks to God. And give thanks to the person like angels. And in there will be a truth moment. You will be punished, and you have to reveal the truth. In this moment, usually the devil will walk. So you have to return to God and disclose all the things, fact things, not to hide anything from God and from people. Even though you can lie to people, or even though you can cover things up, but you cannot cover things to God. Before God, everything is like the transparent water or glass. You cannot hide anything from God's eyes. So just tell the truth, and you will be protected by the angels. But if not, the devil will walk in you and around you. And if you suffer in that moment, then Don't hesitate to return to God. Swiftly, as soon as you notice the situation, then return to God. And through Jesus, Jesus died for you on the cross. He will call you innocent. Because of Jesus, Jesus paid all kind of punishment you had to receive. So you don't have to worry about those things. Okay. I hope that you will be filled with the grace and truth in your life, knowing these things and experience those moments and grow, be mature, and be a good parent, good father or mother to your children. Okay, I love you, guys, children. See you later. See you next time. Bye.